Hey, what's going on out there, guys? I'm going to scoot back here a little bit just so I don't know how well I'm framed here. This is going to be a video response to B Jr. over at Endurance Productions, and I was really intrigued by his video that he posted, which is something that I'm kind of interested in seeing more of, is opinion pieces and whatnot. But he was discussing conventions, film conventions, horror conventions, just conventions in general where, I don't know if a lot of you go or not, but, where you go and you meet celebrities, and, most times you pay to get their autographs and to have like a little meet and greet with them and stuff. And he was just discussing, if any of us have had bad experiences. And, I want to say, if you're watching, really sorry to hear about your experience. I'm actually from Louisville, Kentucky. It's my hometown. It's where I grew up. I live just across the river now in Clarksville, Indiana. But I was at the convention, the Fright Night Film Fest 2011, and I have to say, one of my experiences that I'll talk about was at that convention as well. And I hope it didn't keep you from maybe coming this year, because I don't know if you've checked out the site, but they've announced Bruce Campbell for this year's convention, which I'm really excited about. And it's not going to be at that hotel that it was at last year. It's set so far to be downtown in downtown Louisville at the big convention center down there. So hopefully that'll make organization of things a little better than it was this past year. But anyway, to get to the point, I haven't really had any bad experiences, especially the experience that you had with A. Michael Baldwin, because that's terrible. That's the complete opposite of the point of doing these things. I mean, if that's how he's going to treat fans, and that's how he's going to act towards people, then he just needs to stay off the convention circuit. And hopefully, I actually hope a lot of people do see this video. I hope people that run the conventions see this and can see things like that and get feedback from the fans and not hire him. Because they do get paid to go to the convention. They don't obviously get paid a ton, so they're making their money off the autographs and the things they sign and whatnot. But for me personally, it just completely defeats the purpose of even being there. Sorry, as a celebrity. But the first one I'll talk about, it wasn't a bad experience. It was an underwhelming experience, and I guess it was for a fan. For me, when I met Tom Savini a couple years back, it was right before Machete was coming out, and that was the next project he was working on. And he seemed like maybe he wasn't having the best day. He didn't treat me like like A. Michael Baldwin treated you. He didn't seem like he was really interested in being there a whole lot. He was just kind of really quiet about everything, and I was just telling him how big a fan I was, and I've always loved his work from growing up, and I've always tried to watch everything he's ever had anything to do with, because I'm just such a big fan of him as a makeup artist and an actor. I think the guy's a really good actor, and just for the movies that he involves himself with. But he's just kind of quiet about it. Didn't really say. He just kind of quietly thank you. And that may just be his way. He doesn't seem that way. When I see him do interviews and stuff, he always seems like this exuberant, guy with like full of life and everything. And just didn't seem like he felt very well that day. But he signed everything, and I didn't feel like he charged too much. I mean, he charged $20 like most of them do. It's most of them are pretty standard, just $20. But then you have different situations where some charge more for different things or whatever. But he signed. I'll grab it here real quick. He signed my Dawn of the Dead box set, and I asked him for the gold because I thought it would look cool, because I had Ken up top. When I got this sign, I had Ken up top first in the silver, and I don't know how well you can see it, but and then Tom signed it second, and then George Romero signed it third. And I want to get some of the other cast members to sign it as well, like David Emge and Galen Ross, and I always forget the other actor's name. But anyway, the other principal cast. But I haven't been to a convention where they were there as guests yet. So maybe one day. But that was kind of more of an underwhelming experience than it was anything. And the only other really, it wasn't a bad experience. It was just the strangest experience I've ever had with a guest is Danny Steinman, director of Savage Streets and Friday the 13th Part 5. Friday the 13th Part 5 is one of my favorite sequels. I know it's one of those things that seems like it's a love-hate thing. I remember for years I never knew anybody that really liked the film except for myself and like my dad and my uncle. But I've noticed that over time that there are others out there like me that just love the film for its comedy and being different among the series and stuff. But anyway, I got him to sign the slipcase to my copy of Savage Streets. And you can't really see on there, but it says to Matt, thanks for being a fan, Danny Steinman. Well, it didn't say to Matt originally. He was signing it for me, and he seemed like he was just completely out of it. Like, I couldn't hardly understand the thing that he was saying. I was just telling him, I'm a big fan. I love, Savage Streets. I love Friday the 13th Part 5. Such a cool movie. And he mumbled something about the cut of Friday 5 not being, really his cut, which I kind of halfway knew that anyway. But he was just kind of mumbling everything. You couldn't hardly understand him. And he was really nice. He just he was out of it. And he shook my hand and everything. And I asked him. I said how much, and because he didn't have a sheet with prices on it or anything, and he said, well, I don't know, and I was like, you don't know? I was like, well, free then. But I said, is $10 okay, or is that too little? And he goes, no, that's fine. So I mean, that was cool. It was like $10, cool, whatever. But he signed when he signed. Savage Streets, it was upside down, and I was kind of having a fan moment, not really paying attention, and he handed it back to me, and I said, well, thank you, thanks for coming and your time and everything, and thank you for the, making the movies and great memories of watching them and everything, and I continued on. Well, my dad was with me, and I looked down just to check out what he wrote, and it said, to Robert, thanks for being a fan, Danny Steinman. And he never even asked me my name. He never asked me what my name was or anything. And I just looked at it, and I couldn't help but laugh. I was just hysterically laughing. My dad's like, what is wrong with you? And finally, when I composed myself, I said, he signed it to Robert. And my dad was like, oh my God. He was all worried and stuff because he knew that, I paid a lot for this because it's out of print and everything. And I was like, it's no big deal. I said, if anything, I've got a great, convention story if anybody asks. But after I got home, I started messing with some Goo Gone. I was like, what the hell? This thing, I'm not selling it. It's something for me to keep forever anyway. And I was able to remove the Robert on there with Goo Gone, and I put Matt on there. So, just for myself, for it to say to Matt, thanks for being a fan, Danny Steinman. But beyond that, yeah, that's like the two either more or less underwhelming or just odd experiences I've had with celebrities. I mean, Kane Hodder is always the coolest guy in the world to meet. Doug Bradley was a really, really nice guy, really soft-spoken and kind of quiet guy, but really nice guy, great to talk to. Ken Foree is a blast. Like, if you look through some of my convention slideshows and stuff, when you see me smiling in the picture with Ken Foree, it's because he had me laughing my ass off. I mean, the guy is really, really cool, just funny, fun to be around. I mean, he's like the type of guy I would love to go to a ball game with, or go out to the bar and just have a few drinks and stuff. He just seems like a great, fun guy. George Romero, for being up there in age and, for to me being, I mean, he's big. Like, when I met George Romero, that was pretty fucking cool. Super nice guy. Same thing with John Carpenter. I mean, just the nicest guy. I mean, he's the only person I've completely geeked the fuck out over. Like, because that was why my dad went to that one with me, because of John Carpenter. He'd never gone to one. He'd never really been interested in going to one. And whenever I told him, I was like, John Carpenter is going to be in Louisville this year. I mean, that was big. And Dad went with me because, he's one of my absolute favorite filmmakers ever. Not just genre filmmaker, anything, just period. And that was really cool. And the one person I really wanted to talk about who was the absolute sweetest person in the world was Linnea Quigley. I got her to sign my Night of the Demons here, and she not only did she only charge me $10, but she talked to me for like 30 minutes. I mean, my uncle and his wife, they went to that convention with me, and they kind of went on and went and did a couple other things, and nobody was really I guess wanting to meet Linnea at the time, and I seriously stood there and talked to her for like a half hour, and she was just the nicest person in the world. Took several pictures with me, signed my Night of the Demons, talked to me about the movie, and just talked to me about her life and her career and what she'd been up to lately and what she had coming up and different things and whatnot, and just a really cool person to meet, someone that I have liked for years, and just thought she was a great scream queen and one of my favorite celebrities that I've ever met. So, but yeah, I just wanted to do this video as a response because I thought it was really cool subject matter to bring up and discuss, and want to thank you for just bringing this out and speaking your mind on it, because it's really cool to share these experiences with people. So, yeah, sorry if I rambled on a little long here. Hope everybody enjoyed the vid. Go over and check out B Junior at Endurance Productions. I'm posting this video as a response, so you can click on the link and check out his video if you don't sub to him and everything. But like I said, thanks, and I'll see you guys next time.